the two you are going to use. In addition, tanks should ask their co-tanks who is using the ether shield. This will decide the main tank and off-tank roles. The main tanks are going to be using ether shield primarily, with the off-tanks as backup. Main tanks are also expected to bring shell for their parties. Please bring shell 2, not shell 1. If you don't have access to shell 2, don't worry about bringing it. Finally, please make sure everyone has a pure essence and re-razor for their role. If you do not have them, we can provide them. I'm sure there are vets that have plenty to give around. So please just say so now if you don't have pure essence and re-razor to use for your role. I'm gonna go and do a ready check. If you are not ready, if you don't have the required actions, please go ahead and say no. We do still have 1 DC, so I'm gonna wait for them to come back. While that ready check is going out, as a reminder, normal raising does not work in DRS. DRS has a raise restriction, meaning that the only ways you can be resurrected are through a re-raiser, through a healer with the pure essence of the divine using a rise, through a tank or anyone using sacrifice, but preferably a tank, or through a healer LB3 or Dynamis Dice healer LB3. If any vets who want to give out fragments want to say what world they're on, go ahead. If you want fragments for me, come to Curl Domain Enclave. We're gonna wait for our duelists to come back. Gonna ask them if there's an ETA for them being back. So as a final reminder, if you are on Black Mage, you will not be bringing Flare Star. We have an assigned Flare Star. Our assigned Flare Star is Kaide Obinata. If you are not them, please do not bring Flare Star. I'm gonna give Serena another minute or two to respond. If they don't respond, I'm gonna try and find a replacement real quick. If you have any questions about DRS before we go in, now's a good time to ask them. Yeah, if you joined on the caster slot, please bring a Cure 4 loadout. If you have 2 casters, determine who is bringing Cure 4 and who is doing the DPS loadout. Okay, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to choose a new duelist. If you would like to duel, please go ahead and set your chat to Alliance, roll dice. Use /dice once your chat mode is in Alliance. Currently it looks like Stern will be our duelist. Unless someone can beat, 903. Stern. Okay, please ask your co-tank if they're cool with, solo tanking. If they're not, I'd prefer you not to duel, but as long as they're comfortable solo tanking, I don't have a problem with it. If they are not, it looks like Freya almost will be our duelist.
Reminder that you do need a pure essence. They are non-negotiable.
Yes, please make sure you have a pure essence. It is a requirement to participate, and if you don't have a pure essence on, you're not only gonna die to every raid wide, we're gonna leave you on the ground.
If I catch you in Tembar, I will go out of my way to kill you.
Okay, Freya will be our duelist for today. So do I have someone who is willing to percept slimes? Do I have anyone who is willing to lead slimes as well? Anyone on slime side who is willing to lead it? Yeah, you can lead it in whatever style you like. If I was on slime side, I would probably just do primal slimes, but it is however you like to lead it. Tim will be our slime leader, and Zephy will be our preceptor. Oh yeah, Freya is the, dervish. Let's see, is there a party with 2 fizz ranged? There is. Okay. Can I have Rito and Freya please swap parties for me? Or, yeah, that works. Can Rito and Freya please swap parties? Perfect, thank you. Oh, true, let me fix that. Freya, you joined the wrong party. Here, yeah, I'm just fixing the restrictions real quick. There you go.
Which party was I going to? This is Rita.
Can you please join party A for me?
Okay.
This is your last chance. Please make sure you have a pure essence and you have a re-razor. If you do not, I put the PF back up. I put it in cafe, but no one seems interested in joining, which is fine. We can just have one short stack. Oh, it is because the dancer, just, yeah, hold up. Let me fix that again. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna give it until 20 past to fill, and if that doesn't happen, then we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Please, one last check. Please ensure you have enough pure essences, re-razors, and actions to complete the duty. We have plenty of people who are willing to give them out. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay, we have someone coming to fill. Yep. I'm gonna do one last ready check. Please make sure you are ready if you are saying yes to this. If you do not have a pure essence and a re-razor, now is the time to ask for them. If you have 6, that is plenty for this. I only ask that you have about 4. I'm gonna wait for Astra to join voice chat. Okay, let me know when you're ready, Astra, and we will just zone in. Okay, perfect. We're gonna commence prog. Please say yes if you have a pure essence and a re-raiser ready. Just waiting on what? Yes, we can in fact adjust our holsters in instance. That is why I ask everyone to have their pre-pop ready.
There's also an appraiser inside, I believe.
Yep, there is. Okay, we're gonna try and commence once again. Once we get inside, you're going to pop your pure essence and re-raiser. You're gonna make sure that you have both your starting last actions. That is the start with part of the holsters. And then you're going to go and fill up your holster with your required action. Once you have your required actions, you kind of throw in whatever else is useful. For example, more re-raisers, lost re-raise for other people, etc. If you are that one person, please come in. So we're gonna do a ready check real quick. Gojo, please go ahead and tab back in, unless you are DCing. Okay, perfect. We're gonna go and queue once again. Please tab back in, hit commence. This is the real instance prog. Please tab back in and hit commence. Perfect, thank you. Welcome into TRS. Go ahead and watch your opening cutscene. Once you've done that, please go ahead and pop a pure essence and re-raiser. Slot in your 2 starting lost actions. Please make sure you do not approach or touch the glowing pads. Do not go near the glowing pads. Please do not go near the glowing pads. Once you put down the glowing pads, you cannot come back up to the Lost Finds cache, so if you do not have a full holster with a pure essence and re-raiser active, you will not be able to come back and you will probably be left dead on the ground. Please make sure you do not go down. Pop your pure essence, pop your re-raiser, pop your actions, and then go to the Lost Finds cache and fill all the way back up with your other necessary actions. If you need BR flop, you can mimic the square. At this time, once again, please do not go on the jump glowing pads. Once you have activated your Pure Essence Re-Raiser and starting actions, and then filled back up your Lost Finds holster, please go back to your party's waymark back on the stairs. ABCD is for A through D, 3 is for E, and 4 is for F. Please go back to your party's markers once you have finished. It's also a good idea for you to check your other party members. Please make sure they have a Pure Essence. Pure Essences are Indomitable, Divine, Duelist, Fiend Hunter, and Elder. If they don't have one of these essences, please ask them to get a new one. It's also a good idea to have a Re-Raiser on. It is required even. Please make sure your party has a Re-Raiser. If they don't, ask them to use one. Finally, you can do a quick sanity check. Make sure people's actions look reasonable. If you don't know why they have something, ask them. Either you or they will learn something. Just waiting on a couple people to clear the box. Please go ahead and check your holster and make sure that you have all the necessary actions. Main tanks will need either shield and shell. Healers will need Arise, Steel Sting, Spellforge, Reflect, or Light Curtains and Dispel. Our Renders, which is Rend 1 and Rend 2, that is Gojo and Kuroro, will need the action Lost Rend Armor. Our Preceptors, that is Zephi, Freya, Halcyonic, and Opalt, will need Percept. Our Banisher, who is Sarita, will need Banish. And our Excellence Batteries, that is Alron, Tembo Hooters, Cher, and Kuroro, will need to have Excellence in their holsters. Now is also a good time to go ahead and equip your haste gear. If you've really stepped up your preparations, you might have gotten a Bojin earring. That gives you +3 haste. You also might have some augmented Bojin or augmented Law's Order armor. Please make sure you have that on, as it is free damage. Otherwise, please make sure you have gear in every single slot that is not broken. As a reminder, you can change gear inside, just not while in combat. Just waiting on one to clear the box. Now is a good time for parties to run ready checks. This is to make sure that everyone in the party is ready. They have a full holster, they have a Pure Essence, they have a Re-Raiser. Once your party is ready, please put it in yell.
Paul, quick question.
Yeah.
Since I'm battery for TS, I just have my excellent off now. I don't actually need it in my holster, right?
Yeah, you can just start in Excellence. Just in case anyone is running Mimic and like Rampage or Percept. Okay, A, D, E, F, and C are ready. Just waiting on Party B. Let me know when you are ready. As a confirmation, Timul and Ka is our Slimes lead for today. They have free reign over the slime side, that is parties A, B, and C, and they can do what they like over there, preferably as long as it doesn't wipe.
I will do my best not to.
As long as it doesn't intentionally wipe, I should say. Just waiting on Party B. Please let me know when your party is ready in Yell Chat. B is ready. Perfect. At this time, if I can have the people in Golem's side, that is in parties DEF, drop down one voice channel. You're gonna be listening to me call Slimes. If you're in DEF, please drop down one voice channel. This time, if you're in parties D and F, do one last check. Make sure you have a pure essence eraser and a full Lost Spines holster. Remember that you cannot come back at this point. Once you have all those things, please drop it down on the glowing pad. Once you have a pure essence eraser and a full holster as well as 2 reasonable actions, please drop down on the pad. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start organizing our golem side. Can I please have 1 tank on each of the golems? Can I get 1 tank on each of the golems? Can I get 1 healer on each of the golems that Nuke, Clear, Hanamaida, and Opal Jade are on? Can I get 1 healer on the 2 blue golems as well as the green golem that Opal Jade is on? The golem that Sarah is on won't need 1. Perfect. And can I get a physical ranged on the golem that Sarah Graves is on? Iroha, if you want to come stand next to me. Perfect. Finally, can I get our remaining tanks? There should be at least 1 other tank to the north and the south. I see 1 remaining tank. If there's no other remaining tanks, then we'll have Cher be our self-tank. Okay, that is all the organization set up at this point. So welcome to the Golem side. Golems is much more simple than the slime side alternative, so explanations are going to be nice, quick. If you are on a golem as a tank, you're going to be our tank golems. Please turn on your tank stances now, as you're going to need to have aggro over your golem. Your job is very simple. You're going to take your golem to the appropriate room, and you are going to hold that golem on the pad. Each of the golems is a little different, so please be aware of their properties. The blue golems will do a tank buster. This tank buster is an AoE, and anyone who gets hit is going to have a heavy bleed put on them. The healers in those rooms are going to need to S another tanks in order to remove this. The blue golem, once it casts Metamorphose, is going to turn to the white golem. That is the golem that Hanamaida is standing on. Hanamaida is going to take theirs to the white room. This golem is going to cast Compaction. Once you're killing the white golem, please hold all long cooldowns until you see the cast bar Compaction. Once you see that cast bar Compaction, please burn your actions, but not your lost actions. Generally, lost actions are not used on golems or slime side, as they're not really necessary aside from Percept. Please don't use your charges of lost actions, like Blood Rage, Font of Power, Honored Sacrifice, etc., as they are not needed. Next up is the green room, which I, Opal Jade, am standing on. The green golem is going to absorb any hallway golems that come near it. There are golems spawning in the north and south hallways that must be tethered. If they're not tethered, they walk to the green golem and it absorbs it, getting a huge damage bonus. The green golem is going to turn red once it casts Metamorphose. That is the golem that Sarah Graves is on. Sarah will be our red tank today. And once Metamorphose is cast once, Sarah Graves will hit the golem to have it tethered to them. This tethered golem is going to move slowly, but will do a tank buster with every single hit, dealing a huge amount of their damage. Dealing a huge amount of their health. It is imperative that they kite it around the room. Once we get to the red room, I'm going to ask that no damage over time abilities such as Thunder, Dia, Arrow, anything like that be cast on the red golem. As we're going to get it low towards about 20% HP, hold our damage, and then wait for it to be dragged on the pad with Sarah Graves' invulnerability. And once it is on the pad, we're going to finish it off. Finally is our hallway tanks in the north and south. Your job is very simple. There are going to be golems in the north and south that spawn. These will not have colors, and they just need to be attacked once so they tether to you. Past that, kill them down slowly. But don't worry about killing them as much as you worry about them tethering. Everyone else, you're in what's called the murder ball. You're gonna go from room to room, killing the golems one by one. You're gonna start in the blue room with Nuke clear. Then you're gonna go to the white golem that Hanamida is tanking. Then you're gonna go to the green golem that I Opal Jade am tanking. And then you're gonna go to the hallway golems until the slime side calls commit in shout chat. Once you see that in shout chat, you can go into the red room and kill the red golem. Are there any questions about the golem side? At this point, I'm gonna ask party leaders to do ready checks. Anyone in the party can do these. Just run a ready check real quick. If you have a question, please say no to the ready check and ask it. E is ready, E is ready. I see you have a question. Okay, I'm gonna assume F is ready then. At this point, I'm gonna put golems ready in shout chat. We're just waiting for slime side to finish their explanations, as their side is much more intricate than ours. There's a lot more things that can go wrong very easily. Are there any questions about not just the golem side, but the run in general? If not, then perfect. What flavor? So I think the blue one is like a blueberry. And then the white one is probably like a mint one for some reason. Because candy makers, their hubris has gone too far. The green one is probably like watermelon, and the red one is cherry. And then the hallway golem just straight up tastes like dirt. Yeah, red tastes like cough syrup cherry. But yeah, as a reminder, please do not feel forced to use your lost actions. You should not be using any lost actions during the golem's encounter, unless you are percepting. One other thing about DRS is that there's a 10-minute AFK timer. If you are AFK tapped out for 10 minutes, you get AFK kicked. You leave the instance and cannot be brought back. Please go ahead and wiggle your character around, turn your camera, / dance in front of your friends, until we are ready to go. One thing about DRS is that with every wipe, we don't simply get to return and reset, we have to completely re-instance. So if something goes wrong on our side or the slime side, it will be a wipe and we will have to re-instance. If that happens, it's no big deal. We're just gonna go back in and give it another shot. Golems and slimes is the most finicky part, because if one person does something wrong, then it can very easily go downhill. Yeah, we are just waiting. By the way, Lorian, where are the traps at? If you could just repost that. Southeast hallway and somewhere in the north. So one last thing I'm gonna go over real quick is that there are traps in the rooms and hallways in this encounter, there are two types of traps, the explosion trap and the poison trap. The poison trap is much less threatening, as if you have fortitude stacks, you're probably not even gonna feel it, and even then, you can use an antidote to cleanse it. Even so, please do not walk into these, as there's a good chance it affects someone else and it might get someone killed. The other type is much more deadly, it's the explosion trap. Please do not walk towards any rooms that might have a trap in it, as if it's an explosion trap, it's not only going to kill you who walk into it, it's going to kill anyone else around you. We're going to wait for our preceptor to find these traps. Lorianne has told us that there is a trap in the white room, somewhere in the middle of the hallway, as well as in one of the two north rooms. So if you are in one of the two north rooms, or the white room, please make sure you do not pass your preceptor. Times is ready. Perfect. We're gonna do a 30-second countdown. Please tap back in. Tanks, make sure your tank stances are on. Now is a good time to set your cardias, your dance partners, your carbuncles, and fairies. If you so choose, you can use raid food here, though it is much less necessary than the actual boss encounters. Kimmy, can you open the door for me at 2? Go and open the door now. Tanks, pick up your golems. Pick up your golems. Please stay behind your preceptor. Pick up your golems and take them to your rooms. Pick up your golems, take them to your rooms. Go to the blue room if you don't have a special role. Go and kill the blue. Get ready to Esna your tanks. Please be ready to Esna your tanks. Esna those tanks. Hallway golems are spawning. Pick up your hallway golems. Head to the white room. Interrupt in the green room. Head to the white room, do not interrupt, and kill the white golem. Please hold your longer cooldowns until it begins casting compaction. Please hold your longer cooldowns until you see compaction, and burst it down. Burst down the white golem. And now come to the green room. Please make sure to avoid the explosion trap. Come into the green room and kill the green golem. Once this golem is dead, we're gonna go kill the hallway golems. Please attack the hallway golems. And do not attack the red golems. Start thinking about what gauge you'll need for the encounter ahead of us, Trinity Seeker. You want to have as many resources to burn as possible at the start. As the more damage we deal, the less mechanics we see. Go and attack the hallway golems and start thinking about your meter. Interrupt. And we are waiting for this call from Slimeside to commit. Go and attack the golems. And once again, please avoid attacking the red golem. Commit. Okay, at this time, go into the red room. Start attacking the red golem. Please do not use any damage over time abilities. Please wait for... Please hold damage, and roll drag it on the pad. Drag it on the pad and kill the red golem. Kill the red golem. At this point, they're going to be hallway golems spawning much faster. Please make sure that if you see these cast demolish, use a stun or a sleep on it. Please not spam holy, as we don't want these to become resistant to stuns. Simply stun it if you see it casting demolish and no earlier. Very nice. At this point, please walk to the glowing pad in the northwest. Once you go on that pad, please jump up one voice channel to DRS.
And when you're ready, feel free to take the teleportation portal.
One pulse flames. Let's go. Just gonna wait for a couple more people to come back up. Okay, please go ahead and at the bottom of the stairs, make sure that you are picking up your personal spoils. These personal spoils are personal. You are the only one who can grab them. I can't grab them for you. One thing about TRS is that the purple line that you see on the ground is a ready check. If you're ready, I'm gonna ask you to step across the purple line. If not, I'm gonna ask you to step behind it. At this time, can I ask all tanks to turn off their stances? All tanks shut their stances off. Please turn off your stances. Can I please have our main tank Halcyonic in come up to the front and jump on me? Halcyonic is going to be our main tank for today. They're going to be main tanking the boss. Do you want to take the Buster solo, or do you want to have friends? Okay. Solo, you're going to have to invul. Otherwise, it's like if you just invul it, it's fine for you. Okay. Perfect. So, Trinity Seeker is a boss that is mostly explained through the callouts I do. I'm just gonna go over one thing really quickly. This boss is very fast, so please make sure you are on top of doing mechanics. I call most of the mechanics in this fight either boss relative or with markers. So for example, for one of the mechanics for Full Mercy, I will call the safe side based on the boss's facing. I'll say like back, front, left, or right. Himbo is DCing, that is unfortunate, we'll wait for him. I'm sure he doesn't need explanations though. But yeah, I call almost everything in this fight boss relative. So when you hear me say back, left, front, or right, please keep in mind I'm referring to the boss's facing, not necessarily the position on the arena. If things get wacky, I will call the markers. For example, I may say 3, 1, 2, 4. That does not mean you need to stand on the markers, just towards the sides of the markers. One other thing, as a reminder, in DRS, there is using abilities like Egiro or whatever the other combat raises are will not work. The only way to be arisen is through the healer action Arise when used with a pure essence, through the action Sacrifice, or through a limit break 3 from a healer or dynamis dice. Please make sure you are not using your limit break, as even if it wasn't the only real good way to mass res people, it would still be a damage loss for almost everyone. At this point, I'm gonna wait for Himbo Hooters, so as soon as he reconnects, please let me know. Otherwise, now is a good time to ensure you have raid food. Raid food gives you more HP, more damage, and makes things much easier. As a reminder, please use your lost actions. They are there for a reason. These fights are balanced around the damage that lost actions provide, and without them they are much longer and much harder. You can be a god gamer, but if you don't press your lost actions, you're gonna do much less damage than someone like me who is bad and simply presses lost actions. Oh yeah, Lorian also makes a good point. Please make sure that if your re-raiser procs when you die, you are going to walk out of the death wall that you might be in, walk out of the mechanic, and then pop a new re-raiser. Re-raising gives you a temporary death invulnerability, so you will not take damage until you perform an action or 5 seconds pass. Please make sure if you die and re-raise that you pop another re-raiser. But first walk out of the death wall. At this point, if you are a physical DPS and you would like Font of Power Excellence and you didn't leave the box in it, Alrone has Font of Power and Excellence. If you would like to mimic those, please mimic the triangle marker Alrone. If you're a tank and you want Font of Power Blood Rage, please mimic the square Opal Jade. No, so you will not need either shield or shell for this boss. You will just need what you left the cache with. Ether shield is only for the last two bosses, TA and Queen. Oh, Himbo's back, perfect. Ether shield is only for the last two bosses, so please don't worry about ether shielding, just do your damage. Use your damage actions. Okay, if you're ready, please come jump on the square marker. Walk up and jump on the square marker if you are ready. Walk up and jump on the square marker if you are ready. I think that's everyone, perfect. I'm gonna clear the marks, except for the ignore one. Okay, at this time, one last check. Please use raid food. Please turn off your stands. We're pulling in 30 seconds. One last thing about DRS is that there is a very limiting buff cap, so please make sure not to use anything that puts a ton of buffs, especially around 2-minute windows. Additionally, if you die, do not go AFK, as you can be Arise. We're pulling in 5 seconds. Remember to use lost actions, this fight has an enrage. Please use lost actions, this fight does have an enrage. Raid wide. Sure, for healers, your job starts now. Heal up your parties. Next step is going to be our first fourfold mercy. We're going to be starting. This is a back, front, front. Stay in the back for 2 slashes and then move to the front. You're gonna stay in the back for 2 slashes and then move to the front. Back for 1. Move across, move to the front of the boss. You're gonna dodge ice and then look away from 2. Dodge ice again and then get away from 1. Get away from 1. Go and get towards the boss. Get towards the boss and stand inside its hitbox. Stand inside the boss's hitbox. The front and back are also safe. All tanks, please get up and stack on the ignore 1 marker. Everyone else, please get away from the ignore 1. Everyone else get behind the boss. Everyone get behind the boss except for tanks. Everyone get away from the main tank. Get away from the ignore 1. Ignore 1, stay in place. Everyone else can stack up tightly. Go and stack up together. They're gonna be chains. Please do not move until the icon disappears. Wait for the chain icon to disappear from your head. We're gonna be getting knocked back into a barrier, so stack up, break those chains, and get knocked back into any barrier. Get knocked back into any barrier. Stand in front of the barrier now. Get back in towards Trinity Seeker. Get back in towards the boss. There are gonna be big AoEs on the outer edge of the arena. After these AoEs is gonna be a huge line AoEs coming from these adds that spawn. Run out towards B, run out towards C, run out towards C, run out towards C, and then get behind the barrier between 3 and B. Get behind the barrier between 3 and B. Do not run across, do not run across. Behind the barrier between 3 and B. Get back in towards the boss, stack up towards 3. Stack up towards 3. If you died, please pop a new re-raiser after walking out of the death wall. Please pop a new re-raiser if you've died. Go and stay stacked up, don't move away. There's going to be orange line AoEs. Once these orange line AoEs appear, move out of them. Move out of the line, AoEs. And then we're gonna be moving to the brown sand. Get to the brown sand. Get to brown sand on the ground. Don't be on stone. Did we push? Get to inner kernels of the boss. Never mind. You'll see the full phase. Next up, there's gonna be more of those, but with Earthshakers. If you have an Earthshaker on you, please move away from the party. Opposite side. Get on blue stone, blue stone. Check for Earthshakers, Earthshakers away. Blue stone, Earthshakers away from the party. Next up, we're gonna be getting to brown sand. Get to brown sand, Earthshakers away from the party. Earthshakers away from the party. Get to dodge the line, AoEs. And then get to inner cardinals of the boss. Get to inner cardinals of the boss. Max melee is safe but scary. Max melee is safe but scary. Inner cardinals of the boss. Don't be in front or to the sides. Boss is gonna jump middle in just a moment. Get towards the inside of the arena, as there's gonna be more of those explosions on the edge. Get to the inside of the arena now. Stay on the inside of the arena and go out towards B. Get out towards B. Get out towards B. This is a double movement. Get back in on the boss and go back. Go front, back, or no, back, front, back, back, front, back. Front for 2. And then back for 1. Look away from 1. And get away from 2. Get away from 2 now. Get away from 2. Dodge line AoEs. And get away from 2. Stack up 4 chains. Stack up 4 chains. Stack up 4 chains. Break your chains and then get ready for a raid wipe. Get ready for a raid wipe now. Next up is going to be a solo tank buster. Stay away from the ignore 1 mark. Next up is going to be a rings mechanic with 4-fold mercy. You're going to resolve the first string, dodge 4-fold mercy, and then resolve the second. We're going to be starting towards the front. Stay towards the front. Stay towards the front of the boss. And get on brown sand. Get on brown sand. Get on brown sand. Brown sand in front of the boss. Front for 2 slashes. Get to the back of the boss and get to green brick. Get to green blue brick. Green blue brick is safe. Get both healers down. Please mark them. Get to brown sand. Get to brown sand. We're having a Seasons of Mercy after this. You're gonna dodge ice, look away from 3, then you're gonna dodge ice, get away from 2, and then dodge line AoEs. Dodge ice, then lines. Dodge ice, then lines, and get away from 2. Get in towards the boss. There's gonna be a raid wipe followed by hot wings. Get inside and under the boss. We are not holding damage for LB3s. Do not hold your damage. Keep pumping. Get underneath the boss. Front and back are also safe. Underneath the boss, front and back are also safe. Focus on killing the boss. Next up is going to be a knockback or hide with 4-fold mercy, but focus on killing the boss. If you have heal LB3, use it now. Healer LB3, use it now, but kill the boss. Kill the boss. It's them or us. Very nice. At this point, do not walk ahead, do not walk ahead, do not walk ahead, do not walk ahead. There are traps ahead. Can our duelist please percept for us? Where's our duelist at?
On the floor.
Oh, unfortunate. They're going to be percepting ahead for us. It is good practice in TRS before you pop on a rise to stand on the body before doing so. It saves us all rises and means no one will have to overslot for them. Now's a good time to check and see if you have a re-raiser active. If you died, you might have lost your re-raiser. Pop a new one. That's the boss you're most likely to lose your re-raiser on if you're a vet, so please make sure you have one active.
This is so fucked up.
Come watch our duelists get arisen. Maybe she just doesn't want to get back up. Have we considered?
It's fine, we have Yoroha. The highest quality Lalafell.
The cards for luck? Let's go! Yeah, got him. Okay, at this point, still do not walk ahead. We're waiting for our Perceptor to percept the traps ahead. If our Perceptor could slot in Percept and percept the traps ahead. Our Perceptor, please slot Percept and Percept ahead for us.
I live.
Go over this way, Percept for us towards Dahood. Okay, do not go towards Dahu's arena. Do not go into Dahu. Do not go towards Dahu. Dahu is not real. Can I for almost come back towards the dual pad for me? As well as the Cure Forecaster and Dervish in their party. Please ask your Cure 4 and Dervish to come back to the Dahu towards the glowing pad in party chat. As they're going to be giving you buffs before the duel. You can do like a 15-second countdown to get buffs. If you see a countdown, it is not for Dahu. Dahu is not real, there is no Dahu. Dahu is not real, there is no Dahu. Just give some signal when you want buffs. Remember there's a trap right above the jump pad. Isn't it crazy that all of this is like right under the bush in southern front? Once again, this is not for Dahu. There is no Dahu. Dahu is not real and he cannot hurt you. I'm gonna put down some very helpful Dahu markers such as the B, the A, and the D. The whole point of Dahu is that you're dodging the bad. Remember, this is not for Dahu. We can go ahead and approach the Dahu arena, but we are not pulling Dahu. Approach the Dahu arena, but we are not pulling Dahu. We're gonna wait until we see the duel start. RP text. Did you die to the trap? Okay, well we're pulling Dahu. Unlucky, there is no one who can come save you. Go ahead and pull Dahu. Remember to use actions. Dahu is a trash viper only because he will put you in the trash if you disrespect him. Dodge the croc rocks. There's gonna be orange AoEs. Don't be under them. Don't be under the rocks. And get ready for Dahu to charge. Get ready for Dahu to charge. He's going north. Don't be in front of Dahu. He's going north and then somewhere south. He's going southeast. Don't be in front of Dahu. And get out of the big conal. Get out of the conal. Please drag Dahu back towards the middle. Next up, we're gonna have a bunch of line AoEs as well as the mechanic Spit Flame. If you get a marker above your head, please go out towards the marker with your number 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. And find an ad near your marker. Dodge the line AoEs. Spit Flame, check for a marker 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Find an ad near your marker. Go out if you have a number and find an ad. Get back in, there's gonna be a left-right shockwave. Get to the right. Get to the right after this. And now get knocked back towards a spot where there is no AoE. If you're a gamer, you can dodge this, but I don't give away industry secrets. Get on the B waymark. The B waymark is safe. You're gonna follow the conals around. B waymark is safe. Follow the conals around. You can stop once you're on the A waymarker. You can stop between D and A. Next up, our main tank is gonna have ads tethered to them. Our main tank is gonna need to use their mitigation. Go and group these up and use your mid. Healers, please focus on healing them. Everyone else, pad your stats and AoE them down. AoE down the ads. AoE down the ads and kill the Dahu. Think about what gauge you need for Queen's Guard. Very nice. Grab your personal spoils. At this point, once you drop down, you cannot go back to the Trinity Secret Arena. So if you do not have your necessary chests, you should go back and grab them. You should have one runner's plating footgear in your inventory. If you don't have that, go back and get it. Once you drop down, you cannot come back. We're gonna head down to the Queen's Guard Arena. Okay, at this point, we're gonna do some quick setup. Can I please get a tank on the A and the B waymarks, as well as the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4 waymarks? Can I please get a tank on each waymark? Okay, if you're at A and B, you're gonna be our main tanks. Please sort out which of you wants to take the wall boss, which of you wants to take the middle boss. The wall boss will be tanking the warrior to the right wall, and the soldier to the left wall. The center tank will be tanking the knight to the center and the gunner to the center. If you are on the 1, 2, 3, and 4, you are going to be our aura sphere tanks. 1 and 2 are going to be in the north, and 3 or 4 in the south. Your job is to get aggro on the aura spheres. Your job is to get aggro on the aura spheres, and invul when you see a red marker above your heads. Once you see a red marker, please use your invul. Tanks, if you sort out who's wall, who's center. Okay, nuclear will take the wall bosses, and Imbio can take the center bosses. Okay, now I need healers on each of the markers I'm about to put down. As well as on the D waymark. The D waymark is if you have Dispel. The 1, 2, 3 is ABC is for reflecting. ABC 1, 2, 3 for reflect. D for Dispel. Can I please have 2 Dispellers? I would like one more person with Dispel. Any healer can do it, just needs to slot Dispel. Grim. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. those on the D-Way mark, you don't have to slot it right now, just as soon as the first set of ads jump. It's like press your bus, then slot it. If you're on 1, 2, 3 ABC, you are going to be reflecting. I'm about to post some diagrams in the thread for this run, so please reference that. The first of these is the reflect reference. If you're on 1, 2, 3, you're going to do the north ones on the 1, 2, and 3. If you're on ABC, you're going to do the south ones on D, E, and F. Please reference the image in the AnyProg thread. And if you are on one of these, you are going to be reflecting 2 orbs. If you're dispelling, then you're going to be dispelling the warrior when it casts a boost. That boost will make the next raid wide basically just kill us. If you're a healer, please remember that you are on one of the spawns. It is in the DRS recruiting thread for this run. I'm going to copy a link to the thread once again and post it in DRS chat. Please check in this for any discussion and all of the images I'm going to post. Next up, healers, please check and make sure you have Steel Sting and Spellforge. Steel Sting and Spellforge are necessary for this fight. The bosses are going to make themselves invulnerable to either magical or physical damage, so Steel Sting and Spellforge will need to be applied based on the tether. Spellforge is the purple one and Steel Sting is the yellow one. Please reference that image in the thread if you have any questions about who needs what. As a reminder, all physical jobs need Spellforge, all magical ones need Steel Sting, and there are some that need both. Other than that, I'm going to do quick Queen's Guard explanations. This fight has a lot of mechanics that are very similar to Queen's mechanics and get reused. Lots of these mechanics get reused, so please ensure that you pay attention if you are new. First up is the tether mechanics. The first phase of the fight relies a lot on your tethers. There's going to be a tether that goes out to you from the warrior, and this is going to change how you resolve the mechanic. It will make you go opposite from the rest of the party. You can also check if you have a tether based on the debuff in your debuffs. That looks like, okay, I can't actually post it. The debuff looks like this. You can check and see if you have that debuff to see if you had the tether. Additionally, there is, this will change how you do certain mechanics, especially the bomb mechanic. During the bomb mechanic, you're going to check and see if you have a tether. And you're going to check and see if the bombs have a tether. I will also call this, but if you want to resolve it for yourself, I like to use, or I've heard the phrase, double or nothing, go to large. As a way to easily remember that if you and the bomb are tethered, or if neither you or the bomb are tethered, you will go to a large bomb, otherwise you go to small. Additionally, there is the Knight's main mechanic is based on its Sword Omen and Shield Omen. This is gonna change whether we resolve mechanics in the center of the arena or on the edge. One of these will be like a knockback or an out, so you'll either need to get knocked back from the center or be away from the center. The other is going to be an in or out donut on the Knight, and additionally it's going to have French fries. These are golden spikes on 3 of its sides. I'm going to tell you to get towards one of the sides and either in or out. You're either going to need to be under the boss on one of the sides or far away from the boss. The second phase of mechanics is based around its gap mechanics. If you've done Orban Monastery, which you should have to get here, you remember the Mustadio gap. This is also featured in any of the Gabriel fights. It is going to place a weakness marker around you that places a weakness on 3 of your sides. You're going to need to point that gap towards any source of damage so that you do not get a vuln. This is what it looks like roughly. You're going to need to point that gap towards the sources of damage, oftentimes the gunner in the middle, as well as turrets on the wall. You're going to need to align yourself with these. And the turrets especially, please make sure you are not getting overlapped by the turrets, as if you get hit by both, you will probably just die. Finally, in the final phase of the fight, there is the ethereal wards. All 4 of them are going to appear around the 1, 2, 3, and 4 markers, and you're going to need to focus them down. However, please make sure you are waiting to focus them down and prioritizing the aura spheres. DPS are going to need to split up, the slime side to the north, the golem side to the south, and you're going to need to kill the aura spheres first. The tanks should make sure they get aggro with provoke and ranged attacks. So please make sure that you are resolving the aura spheres before killing the ethereal wards. Additionally, please make sure you are respecting coat of arms, as if you're attacking during the cast bar, you might just get knocked back even into a wall and die. Please go ahead and wiggle around, make sure you don't get AFK kicked. Explanations have been pretty long because there is a lot of mechanics here, and a lot of them get reused. Healers, as a reminder, please go to your spots according to the reflect diagram. At this time, if you are ready, if your healers have Steel Sing and Spellforge ready, please come to the C waymark and jump on Opal Jade. If you have any questions, please stay behind the purple line and ask them. No, there are not supposed to be 2 healers at each spot. Each healer can take 1 spot. If a healer wants to back you up, that's perfectly okay, but I only need 1 healer assigned to each spot. Yes, Nuke is going to be on the warrior and the soldier. MBO is on the knight and the gunner. Finally, one last thing I should make sure of. Please make sure that you are keeping the damage relatively even between the 2 bosses. They need to die at the same time. If they don't, they will enrage and kill us all. Additionally, if you are a main role, for example a reflector or aura sphere tank, and you go down, put it in yell chat so that someone can fix this. I think pretty much everyone is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started. Please make sure to eat raid food. Mine has fallen off. Please make sure you are ready to reflect, as well as use Steel Sing or Spellforge. You can swap out of Steel Sing and Spellforge for reflect after the first phase. Finally, at the start of this, all tanks should turn on their stance and try and grab aggro on one of the soldiers. Please turn on your stance and be ready to grab aggro on one of the soldiers at the start. Once the fight properly starts, everyone except the ignore marks are going to turn them back off. Steel Sing and Spellforge are going to be used as soon as I put a countdown on. All physical jobs will need Spellforge, all magical will need Steel Sting. There are also some hybrid jobs that will need both. I'm going to post another graphic that helps you figure out who needs what. All physical jobs should start in Spellforge, all magical should start in Steel Sting. And then there is going to be times during the fight where you may need to change which is applied. I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. As soon as this starts, start applying Steel Sting and Spellforge to your party. If you are not getting it, your healers might be doing something funky. If you don't get it at the start of the next phase, I would then start to be concerned. Please make sure one healer has Steel, one healer has Spell. You can also approach the bosses. Just do not attack them. Do not right click on the bosses, just walk up to them. Walk up to the bosses, give them a hug. Tanks, pick your favorite one and get ready to get aggro on it. Grab your aggro, pull the bosses together. Pull the bosses together. There's gonna be a couple of raid whites here. Pull them together, grab aggro on your favorite one, and get ready for the raid wide. There's gonna be another raid wide if the bosses don't disappear. All tanks except ignore 2 stance off. Knight to the center, warrior to the wall. Stances off. And we're getting ready for our first tether. Click off Steel Sting, apply Spellforge. 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 We're getting our first tether mechanic. In just a moment, you're going to be checking for your tether. We're going to be resolving this on the outside of the arena. Go and check for a tether, check for a tether, check for a tether. Tethers go to large, rest go to small. Tethers large, rest small outside of the arena. Tethers large, rest small outside of the arena. Tethers large, rest small outside of the arena. Center is not safe outside of the arena. If you fall before your bomb, move where 1 just fell. If you fall before your bomb, move where 1 just fell. Get back on the bosses. The warrior is about to use boost. Please be ready to dispel it. Dispel boost, then get ready for the upcoming raid wide. Dispel boost, raid wide. Next up is going to be another tether mechanic. You're going to check your tether, and then you're going to go to either the green swirly puddles or the purple crackly puddles. Check for a tether now. Check for a tether now. Check for a tether now. Tethers go to green swirls, rest go to purple lightning. Overlap is big, there is no uptime. Tethers to green, rest to purple. Tethers green, rest purple. After this, get under the knight. Get under the knight. Stay under the knight towards the south. Under the knight towards the south. Under the knight towards the south. Warrior is boosting. Please dispel the warrior. Please dispel the warrior. Raid wide. Dispel the warrior. Very nice. More damage on the warrior, please. More damage on the warrior. This is the tank buster. After the tank buster, we're gonna get a repeat of everything that just happened. Let's try and kill it before then. There is no change to Stealer's spell. Kill the bosses. Kill the bosses. Next up. Soldier to the wall, gunner to the center. 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 We're gonna have our first gap mechanic. Now, I don't know what they're putting in the water, but it's turning the frogs into fire, and that's really not healthy for them. We're gonna go between 2 of the small fires and not under any of them. We're gonna go between 2 of the small fires. More damage on the soldier. South is safe. You can move towards the south. Move towards the south. You're getting your gap. Check where your gap is. Get ready to point that gap towards the gunner in the center. Point your gap towards the gunner in the center. Gap towards the gunner in the center. Now gap towards a turret on the wall. Gap towards a turret on the wall. Next up is a tank buster followed by a raid wide. Tank buster followed by a raid wide. There's that raid wide. Care forecasters, go ahead and get ready to heal everyone up. Next up is gonna be turrets. Our main tanks are gonna need to pick up the turrets. MBO towards the B, and nuke towards the D. All damage should go on the turrets. Our number 1 damage priority is the turrets. These turrets do enrage. Tanks, get ready to pick up your gun turrets now. Tanks, pick up your gun turrets. DPS, focus down the gun turrets. Focus down the gun turrets. There's gonna be a raid wide in just a moment. Tanks invuln, tanks invuln, tanks invuln. Never mind, no need. Raid wide. We're either gonna stop moving or keep moving. We're either gonna stop moving, keep moving. Casting is not moving. Keep moving. Casting is not moving. Keep moving. No caster uptime. If you're a reflector and you're dead, please say so in yell chat now. If you're a reflector and you're dead, please say so in yell chat now. Damage is even. Very nice. Next up is jumping clones, but I haven't called that in so long, and I'd really rather not. So let's just kill the bosses. If you're a reflector and you're dead, please say something now. Kill the bosses. This is not gonna go off, just kill the boss. Okay, Slimes north, Golem south. Slimes north, Golem south. Slimes north, Golem south. Hex 1 and Chain 1 turn on stance. Hex 1, Chain 1 stance on. Focus down aura spheres, get ready to reflect. Focus down aura spheres, get ready to reflect. Focus down aura spheres, ready to reflect. If you have a mark above your head, use Invuln. Cover any misreflects that you see. Please respect the coat of arms, don't get parried like a scrub. Respect coat of arms, don't get parried like a scrub. Coat of arms is going out again. Respect coat of arms, don't get parried. Respect coat of arms, don't get parried. Aura spheres are spawning at the south and north, as well as reflects. Get ready to reflect and kill aura spheres. Reflect and kill aura spheres. No misreflects, very nice. Finish off the wards, respect coat of arms. Kill the wards, respect coat of arms, don't get parried. Very nice. Grab your personal spoils, there's only one chest because we had an incident with the duel, but it's okay. If you're going to rise, please stand on top of the body.
One shot, let's go!
We're just gonna wait for our arise to go off, and I'm gonna clear the markers real quick. Go ahead and go down to the next arena. Yeah, if the duel succeeds, there is a second chest that you can get, but unfortunately we did not succeed the duel, which is perfectly fine, so we just won't get that extra chest. Welcome to Bojan Phantom. If you need to take a break to go to the bathroom, get something to drink, now is the time to do it. Otherwise, gonna step across the purple line. As soon as I find my phantom markers, there we go. If you are ready to go, please step across the purple line. With this many people, I'm just gonna wait until people get back, I guess, to go ahead and pull. Okay, can I have Halcyonic please step up real quick so I can mark them? You are going to go back to being our main tank here. Halcyonic, where are you at? Oh, perfect, there you go. Okay, we're gonna wait for a couple people to get back. If you are ready to go, please step across the purple line once again. Please step across the purple line. I mean, that's probably enough to kill Phantom. If you are ready, please step across the purple line. We're gonna do a 15-second countdown. Can I confirm that Banish is ready? Can I confirm banish real quick? Okay, perfect. At this time, turn off your tank stance unless you're Halcyonic End. We're gonna do a 15-second countdown. Please make sure you're either in front of or behind the purple line, as this purple wall turns into a death wall. Use whatever actions you have left as we're reslotting them at T8 anyways. There's something that happens here, don't really remember. Oh right, it's like a raid fight. Next up is Wheeze Miasma. We're going to A. Drag the boss to A. Get to A. A is safe. We're gonna follow the donut down. There is no cheese like normal mode. Just follow the donut down. Remember to follow the dots on the ground. Follow the dots on the ground. And stop at the 1 marker. Don't walk into the death wall. Don't walk into the death wall. Stop at the 1 marker. Wait for 1 more pulse and move to 2. Move to 2 now. We can move back to 1 at this point. Move back to 1. Move over to 1. We're gonna wait for 3 pulses on 2, and then move over to 2. One, 2, and 3 pulses. Move to 2. Move to 2 now. We're gonna stay here for 2 pulses on the 1, and then do the same thing. Or move to 1 now. Move to 1. Next up is our ads phase. Next up is ads phase. You're gonna heal the whites and kill the reds. Heal the white ghosts and kill the red ghosts. Don't use all your benedictions in one place. Heal the white ghosts and kill the red ghosts. You can also start thinking about what gauge you're gonna need for TA. TA, we also want as much damage as possible, so start thinking about what meter you're going to need. Follow the red ghosts and interrupt the boss. Go and finish off the boss, but think about your gauge. Finish off the boss, think about your gauge. We're gonna see a couple cast bars, but none of them are going off. Finish off the boss. Very nice. Grab your personal spoils. And do not walk ahead, there are traps ahead. Do not walk ahead, there are traps ahead. Do not walk ahead, there are traps ahead. Can our Perceptor please slot in Percept? That should be Halcyonic End. Perfect. Avoid the traps. There's 1 in the vestibule. Avoid the traps. And go down the stairs. Down the stairs are more traps, and some of them are needed to progress the raid. Be careful as there is a trap in the vestibule. Explosion in the vestibule. Walk through. Dodge the vegetable trap. And make sure you especially dodge any of the pink squiggly traps. Pink squiggly traps are necessary to continue the raid. Walk down the stairs and come to TA. Yeah, these are the good markers. Okay, at this time you should reslot your actions. All tanks should be slotting Shell 2 to give Shell to their parties. If you need Shell, please step behind the purple line and step across once you get it. If you need excellent spawn of power, Sharebear has it. If you need Shell, give it step behind the purple line. Otherwise, step across once you have it. Please do not give out Shell 1. Please just give out Shell 2. If you have shell 1, don't worry about giving it out. If you have shell 1, please step back behind the purple line so it can be replaced with a shell 2. Once you have shell 2, please step across the purple line. I think that is everyone with shell 2. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna do quick. I'm gonna do something that I'm definitely not stealing from Himbo. Can everyone please step behind the purple line for me real quick? I need 4 veterans, preferably 3 tanks, and 1 healer or C4 to step across the purple line for me. You're going to die, so please be ready to die. If you want to come die with me, step across the purple line. I see Grim, I see Stern. Okay, I just need people who can resolve mechanics for me. Preferably like 4 people. Real quick, Lorianne. Here you go. Okay, if you would like to come on the suicide mission, please drop party and say something in yell chat. If you're a vet, you can go take a break because you've seen all of this before. If you're not in the party, please make sure you are behind the purple line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick reenactment of Trinity Avowed. You can focus target anyone here to see the debuffs that we get. Go ahead and focus target someone here. I'm gonna be narrating the boss as well as what I have. Our healer has 10 sucker stacks, that's perfect. So, I'm gonna do a 15-second countdown once I put down the actual markers. Yeah, here we go, these are the actual ones. So yeah, we're gonna do a 15-second countdown. This is just to show off the boss. Please step behind the purple line if you are not in the party. So this boss starts out with a tank buster. All tanks can get in front of the boss for me. All tanks get in front of the boss for me. Oh no. Hembo can join us, I guess. Good luck. Oh no. And then a raid wide. This is mitigated with a tank's ether shield. Next up is gonna be 3 weapon swaps. These weapon swaps are gonna determine the entire boss mechanic. Isolde is back. Get to the back of the boss. Isolde is the back of the boss. Next up, all casters can go ahead and get to the 2 marker. And everyone can get in front of the boss. Get in front of the boss. So it's last. Let's go. And then once that's done, everyone can get away from the boss at the flash of light. Range can start out, but melee can greet until she stops spinning. Right now. Then you can get back in. And we're starting in staff phase. During this phase, everyone's gonna get their temperature just like normal mode. Everyone is also gonna get a force march. Unlike normal mode, these AoEs are much bigger, so there is no safe spot with a 0 temperature. So you're gonna stop racing people during this phase. You're gonna check your force march, stand in the middle, and then you're gonna check your force march to see which direction it is. You're gonna find the meteor that resolves your debuffs. I'm fire 1, I'm fire 2, so I'm going to ice 2. I point my force march to it, and I go to the meteor. After this, there is a raid wide. So all tanks are gonna ether shield and mitigate for their parties. Next up is gonna be our bow phase, so you can get south of the 3 marker. Boss is always gonna go to the middle at the start of bow phase, so you can get behind the 3 marker. Then all tanks are gonna get to the front. All tanks get to the front. Tanks are gonna pop a cooldown. The force march is going out. That's gonna be used to resolve a mechanic in just a second. Tanks can pop submit. And then you're gonna check your force march. You're gonna get force march to either B or D at this point. I'm gonna get force march to B, and I'm gonna point my force march towards it. Remember that you go 2 squares during this force march. You go 2 squares during that, about 3 with sprint and about 4 with impetus. Next up is gonna be an arrow game. There are gonna be 5 arrows. There's gonna be 2 fire arrows, 2 ice arrows, and 1 empty spot that you can treat as an arrow. I'm gonna find my arrow, I'm gonna trace it down. I'm gonna find where it ends and stand where it ends. I'm ice 2, so I'm gonna stand where fire 2 ends. I've resolved my mechanic. At this point, I'm gonna point the boss towards the middle. There's a raid wide, which you either shield and mitigate. And after this, it's gonna be a frontal cleave. So you're just gonna get to the front, because it's gonna cleave everywhere behind it. Get to the front of the boss during sword phase. During sword phase, the boss goes untargetable. The boss is gonna run towards the 2 marker, and it's gonna go away in just a second. You're gonna need your temperature. To resolve this temperature, you need to get hit by a swing of her sword. She's gonna summon 3 clones of her, and they're also gonna do swings. During this, I call out the safe spot, so our first safe spot is 1. You can go to 1 to be safe, or go to cardinal of it to be safe to clear your temperature. On the 3 marker is unsafe. Then the next safe spot is on 2, so you're gonna go to 2 once you've resolved, or to a cardinal of it if you haven't. 4 is where you die. If you are on 4, you are dead. Then the boss comes back. There is a raid wide, so you're just gonna either shield and mitigate again. And after this is staff phase, which is gonna be an out. Once she stops spinning, you can get out. That's right now, so I get away from the boss and get back in. Next up, during this next staff phase, you're gonna get not just the temperature, but also a brand. You're gonna add these together. I have fire 1 and fire 1, so I am +2. I'm gonna need to find the ice 2 meteor and get hit by that. During this, there are line AoEs to dodge. So I find my ice 2 meteor, I run towards it, and I dodge the line AoEs in the back corners. The back corners are safe. Rip to Zelly. I'm gonna drag it back middle because it's about to go middle. There's a raid wide, so you either shield and mitigate. He's gonna do a frontal cleave, so you're gonna want to be behind. You're gonna want to be south of 3. There is no tank buster this time. You're just gonna dodge the same line AoEs that happened during staff, either to the sides or inner cardinals. You're gonna get to the side of the boss for this, press your sprint, and then once lines go off, you're gonna run to B. Run to B away from the firewall. During this phase, there are a lot of debuffs that go out. There's your hot and your cold, as well as an elemental brand. Alongside this is also a force march. So you're gonna add these together. I have fire 2 and ice 2, which means I am 0. I need to be hit by nothing. I'm gonna find the arrow, I'm gonna find the slot that is empty, follow it down, and then get force march towards it. I find the empty spot, I trace it down, and then I stand 2 squares away from it and get force march towards it. After this is another raid wide. so tanks will ether shield and mitigate. With a tank buster, which I'm gonna just invul. Hana, do you wanna provoke off me real quick? Or I can get Benny, that works too. After this is the frontal cleave, so I point it towards the center, and everyone gets in front of it. Everyone get in front of it. This is the sword phase. Boss is gonna go untargetable. You're gonna get both a temperature and a brand. So I have a +2 temperature and a +1 brand, which means I need to get hit by -3. Boss is gonna disappear after summoning clones. I need to find the safe spot and then go cardinal of it. I need to get hit by an Ice 2 and an Ice 1 sword. First safe spot is 4, so I'm gonna go north to get hit by the Ice 1 swing. After this, there's another swing. The next safe spot is 3, so I'm gonna find the Ice 2 sword and go north to get hit by it. Once that happens, I'll be opposite of my brand. I'll be Ice 1, my brand is Fire 1. After this, the raid wide, then enrage. Everyone get towards the south wall. Both my temperature and brand resolve. There's a raid wide. And everyone can walk into the death wall once it goes off. Walk into the death wall. If you die, just press something. Or if you re-raise, just press something. Very nice. So that is all of Trinity Avowed. I'm gonna need healers to start scraping up the bodies. Yeah, we're gonna do a rescue mission on Stern. You have now seen every single part of the encounter. Yeah, so what we're gonna do to rescue Stern is I'm gonna have a healer walk along the wall. Yeah, just focus on arising people. If healers want to go scrape up, Zelly, then go towards Zelly and along the wall.
Stern will pull, Zelly won't.
Yeah, Zelly is safe to go, arise if someone wants to get them.
Oh, looks like I got Stern without bowling.
Oh, nice. Very nice job on getting Stern up. Go ahead, everyone who's in the death party, leave the party and get an invite back to your party. You can just put in yell chat your party, and your party leader will invite you back. You have now seen everything that this fight has to offer, so you should all now be pros at it and not die, surely. Does anyone need a re-raiser? Also, can I... Please make sure if you have party lead, you're inviting people back.
You can Stern walk back without pulling?
Yeah, they can walk back, just along the wall. Just walk along the wall and you're fine. Because, the D marker is just as far from the boss as the C marker. I have one active right now, so who wants, a free raise? Just come jump on me. Okay, perfect. At this point, go ahead and make sure tanks you have Ether Shield. Please make sure tanks have Ether Shield. Once your tanks have Ether Shield, everyone in your party has Shell. Go go ahead and step across the purple line and stand on the C marker. Also, if any tank has a VR, I'm gonna steal that. You know what? It'll have to do. Okay, just waiting on a couple people. Please come to the C waymark. If you need shell, please say something now. Waiting on Gojo, on Grim, on Cheese, on Haruka. Please step across the purple line once you are ready. Once again, your physical mimic target is Sharebear. Please mimic them. If you need excellent amount of power, that is everyone across the purple line. All tanks except Halcyonic stance off. Everyone turn off their stance except Halcyonic. We're gonna do a 30-second countdown. Enable raid food. Please use raid food. Now's a good time to have raid potions on your hotbar ready to use. This boss has an enrage, and if lots of people die, it can get tight. Tanks, please have Ether Shield. Tanks, please have Ether Shield. Make sure someone in your party has Ether Shield. All tanks get to the front of the boss. All tanks get to the front of the boss. Get ready to pop a cooldown. After this, Ether Shield and Mitigate. Ether Shield and Mitigate. We're about to get our weapon swaps. First up, get away from the boss at the flash of light. Get away from the boss at the flash of light. That means now. Get away from the boss. Get back in. And we're either gonna get to the front or the back after this. We're gonna get behind the boss. Get behind the boss. Get behind the boss. We're starting in sword phase. Get in front of the boss. Get in front of the boss now. The boss is going untargetable in just a moment, so if you still have any bursts left, don't use it. Hold your burst if you have any left. Remember that if you are diagonal at the safe spot I call, you are dead. Go to the safe spot and then go to a cardinal of it to resolve your temperature. Our first safe spot is 2. Go to 2 or a cardinal of 2. 2 or a cardinal of 2. 4 is death. Don't be diagonal of 2. 4 and D are both death. Goodbye. Our second safe spot is 4. Go to 4. Go to 4 or a cardinal of 4. If you haven't resolved, go to cardinal of 4. 2 is death. 4 is safe. 2 is death. Boss is coming back with a raid wide. Be ready to Ether Shield and mitigate. Raid wide, Ether Shield, mitigate. Ether Shield and mitigate. Have this in pre-position away from the boss. Melee can greed until they see the flash of light. Get away from the boss. Melee can greed until she stops spinning. Get away from the boss. And get back in. If you could center the boss a little bit more, please. You're gonna need your temperature. You're gonna need a force march. You're gonna need to be force marched towards the meteor that resolves your temperature. Do not greed. Your life is worth more than 1 GCD. Stand in the middle for these proximity markers. Toss a light region on your party. And please pull the boss a little bit more middle. Check your force march. Get force march towards the meteor that resolves your temperature. Do not greed. Get back in there. Next up is a raid wide. Get ready to Ether Shield and mitigate. Ether Shield and mitigate. You can go and get south of the 3-way marker. You can go ahead and get south of the 3-way marker. Next up is bow phase. Get behind the boss. All tanks get up front. All tanks up front. All tanks get up front and pop a cooldown. Check your force march. See which direction it's sending you. We're gonna be moving towards B or D with our force march. Do not press sprint. Get force march to B. Get force march to B. Healers, if you see someone die in the fire, get ready to rescue them. Rescue anyone in the fire once they re-raise. Next up, you're gonna get your temperature. Go and find the arrow that resolves your temperature and trace it down. It takes every bend in the pipe. Follow your arrow down. It takes every bend in the pipe. Get back in there. Get ready for a raid wide. Next up is a raid wide. Point the boss towards the center. Ether shield and mitigate. Ether shield and mitigate. Next up, you're gonna get in front of the boss. Boss is going away soon. Get in front of the boss. Boss is throwing untargetable. If you still have burst you haven't used, hold on to it. Hold on to any burst you still haven't used. You're gonna get your temperature as well as a brand. You're gonna need to make it so that your temperature is opposite of your brand. Add them together and make sure you get to the temperature opposite your brand. Our first safe spot is 1. Get to 1 or a cardinal of 1. Get to 1 or a cardinal of 1. You may need to get hit twice. Don't get hit twice at the same time. Our next safe spot is 4. Get to 4 or a cardinal of 4. 4 or a cardinal of 4. Get hit once. Don't get hit by 2 swords. Boss is coming back with a raid wide. Get ready to ether shield and mitigate. Boss is coming back with a raid wide, ether shield and mitigate. I've got 8 now. Get out from the boss. Mainly complete to the flash of light. Everyone get out. Get out now. You're gonna get your temperature and a brand. You're gonna need to walk yourself towards the media that resolves your temperature. Do not raise, do not LB3. Do not raise, do not LB3. Do not raise, do not LB3. Stand in the center of the arena, check your temperature, find what you need to get hit by. You're gonna need to walk yourself to the media that resolves your temperature and dodge the lines. Look for people jumping. Get back on the boss. And get ready for a raid wide. Healer LB3 if you have it, ether shield and mitigate. Ether shield and mitigate, heal LB3 if you have it. Heal LB3 if you have it, if both healers are dead, and mark them. Get south of the 3-way mark. Get behind the boss. Get behind the boss now. Get behind the boss now. Behind the boss now. Someone went AFK, unlucky. This is our last mechanic before enrage, so do your damage. You're gonna dodge to the inner cardinals of the boss, get diagonal from the boss on one of the white tiles, and then press sprint and run towards D after. Run towards D, run towards D. Healers, if you see someone in the firewall, rescue them. Next up, you're gonna get your hot and cold. You're gonna get your brand. You're gonna need to be opposite of your brand by the end of the mechanic. You may need to get hit by nothing. You're gonna find the space that has nothing in it. Finish off the boss. Kill the boss. Very cool. Go ahead and arise, people. Remember that before you start a rise, stand on top of the body. Before you start a rise, stand on top of the body. Please do not go back and get a trap yet. Don't go back and get a trap if you're a vet. If you're a vet, go stand near the bridge and form a line. I'm gonna wait for rises to happen, and then we're gonna do a special little thing real quick. If you're new, please come jump on the 4-way mark. If you are totally new and have never cleared TA before. Okay, if you're new, come follow me. You're gonna see a pink little trap. Do not walk into the trap yet. Gather around the trap, hold hands. Do not walk into the trap, gather around it. You go in, click yourself, and make sure a little bit of your hitbox is inside the trap, but don't go all the way in. Do not walk into the trap all the way. I'm gonna do a 10-second countdown. At the end of this, you're gonna walk into the trap. Walk in and run towards the bridge. You're gonna take the jump pad over and go through the gate. Fun fact about this, Lullafell are the tallest ones during this. Lullafells are the tallest race well minied. Go and take the jump pad and go through the gate. I'll let someone new do it. Go through the gate and then walk forward some. Do not walk through the loading zone. Go through the loading zone and do not walk ahead. Do not walk ahead once you go through the loading zone. This is where I come in. Do not walk ahead, there are traps ahead. Do not walk ahead, there are traps ahead. In about 20 seconds I'm gonna go sweep. Okay, I'm gonna go sweep, but do not follow me. There we go. Go ahead and go down towards Minotaur. Follow the wall. Do not walk through the middle of the room, just hug the wall. Yep, there's an explosive back there somewhere. Mind your steps. Okay, we're gonna do quick setup. I don't remember if I stole the markers. Let me see. Okay, so please come to the back. I'm gonna do this back here. Can I have a tank on 1, 2, 3, and 4? Oh, that works. Can I have a tank on the 1, 2, 3, and 4 markers, please? Tanks on the 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're not a tank. You're an imposter.
So
As usual, Knight's the imposter. Okay, can I please have a tank with me and Bio Harvey and Hanamaida? If you don't need an off tank, please say something now. Okay. Yeah. Can I please have a tank on Hanamaida, Stern, and Imbio Harvey? You can be totally new or experienced. Just stand on them, please. One more tank. Need a tank on the two-way mark with me. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the people who are taking the ads. If you would like to kite the ad, please stand towards the inside of the marker. If you want to sweep traps, please stand on the outside. Hold on. Okay, can I please have a healer? Can I please have healers come to D and B? B for deflect, D for dispel. If you have both, stand in the middle. B for deflect, D for dispel. If you have both, stand in the middle. If you slot dispel at this point, you're going to keep it until queen. Please make sure if you slot dispel, you do not slot over it. Okay, very nice. That is all our rules taken care of. Oh, welcome to Sigma Lord, the ads phase disguised as a boss. The majority of Stig is based around its ads phase. So what I'm gonna ask is that everyone who does not have a marker above their heads, please hold your burst actions. Any long cooldowns that you have, please hold them. These cooldowns are going to be used at the start of ads phase to blow up the ads, as that's the main part that kills people. Yeah, we're not going to need Ether Shield for this, so don't worry about pressing it. But yeah, please make sure that if you're selling Dispel, you're holding it till Queen, and everyone is holding their burst actions. The main thing that everyone has to worry about during Minotaur phase is the debuffs. The debuffs are the real killers, as they will either push you back or pull you in. I'm gonna post an image of what these debuffs look like in the thread real quick. There are two debuffs. The first is the sacrifice. This is gonna pull you in. You're gonna need to stand in one of the outer notches along the ring. Once it goes off, it's gonna pull you in towards the boss into the inner notch. If you're in the inner notch, you go into the death wall. If you're in the middle of the path, you're going into the death wall. If you have the pull, please get pulled in towards the boss. There's also the Wander debuff. This is a push. When it goes off, it's gonna push you into the opposite nook, far away. If you're in the outer nook, you're gonna get pushed into the death wall. If you're in the path, you're getting pushed into the death wall. Please make sure that you are resolving your debuffs whenever they are getting resolved. I'm gonna call to do your words, do your words, do your words, do your words. When I call for that, please make sure you are resolving your debuffs. Other than that, there are a couple mechanics that are going to require you to go into one of the notches. The outer and inner little bits of the cogwheel are the notches. Tanks, your job is to either kite the minnow or to sweep for traps. During this phase, the ones with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 marker are going to grab aggro on their respective ads. 1 is the north, 2 is the east, 3 is the south, 4 is the west. You're going to grab aggro and kite it around. Additionally with them are sweeper tanks. These tanks on a 5, 6, 7, and 8 are going to use their influence. They're going to run from cardinal to cardinal and sweep for traps. The outside tanks are the sweepers. They're going to pop their invuln, run from cardinal to cardinal, and sweep for traps. One thing about these sweeper tanks is that they are not going to sweep from, for example, the tank at 1 who is sweeping will not sweep from the north to the east. They will sweep from the east to the south. The tank with 2 will sweep from the south towards the west. The tank on 3 will sweep from the west to the north, and the tank on 4 will sweep from the north to the east. These tanks are also there to pick up if the main tank dies. So if something happens and the main tank dies, please make sure to provoke the ad off of them. These ads must be kited. You must stay away from these ads if you are kiting them, as they give ruin stacks. If you are attacked by the Minotaurs, they will give you a ruin stack, of which 2 will kill you. Once again, the thread is right here. Please join the thread if you want to see the images I'm posting. This is where all the images are getting posted. If you are one of the tank markers and you don't understand what you're doing, please come jump on me real quick. If you have any questions, ask them. If you don't understand, jump. Inside tanks are kiting the Minotaurs around. You're going to stay away from their melee range and make sure you don't get whacked. Trapper tanks are going to go from cardinal to cardinal with their invuln and sweep. Yes, you're going to kite them clockwise, so the one tank is going to pull them out and then go clockwise. If you're on B or D, you are going to be on the inside ring. If you're dispelling, you're going to find the earth orbs and use the spell on them. If you're on B, you're going to find the fire orbs, use reflect or light curtain, and stand under them. It's imperative that you reflect and dispel these, as if they go off they give everyone a ruin stack, and 2 of those kill everyone. If you are not on a marker, you have no special job. Your job is very simple. You're going to sit at the south. You're going to wait. You're going to kill the Minotaurs as they're brought to you until the words are resolved. By that point, there should be 2 Minotaurs brought to you. So you're going to stand at south. As soon as it starts, you're going to pop your burst and you're going to kill the first ad on south. Then you're going to wait for the next ad from the east to get pulled to you, and you're going to kill that one. Around that point, you are going to then spread out and start killing the other ads. It is generally recommended to stay at a cardinal at the start, as the entrapment cast will make everything except the cardinals potentially have a trap in it. If you are away from a cardinal, you will just instantly explode potentially. So please make sure at the start of the fight, you are standing at the south cardinal. Okay. With that said, I think that's basically everything about Stig. Stig, again, the boss itself is very simple. It's mostly just dodging AoEs and getting away from stuff. The dispel is for the earth orbs. They're going to be balls of earth that spawn on the inner ring. You're going to dispel them and then use an attack on them. Reflectors, you're going to look for the balls of fire. You're going to stand under them and reflect them. If you have any questions about what your job is, ask them now. Otherwise, come jump on the 3-way mark. At this time, all tanks should turn their stances off except for Halcyonic End. Halcyonic End, please turn on your stance. You're going to main tank until Ads phase. At the start of Ads phase, our tanks with the hex 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to turn on their stances and begin kiting. Tanks 5, 6, 7, and 8 should turn their stances off. Again, tanks 5, 6, 7, 8, if your respective tank dies, please be sure to provoke the ad that they are assigned to. At the start of this fight, DPS are holding their long cooldowns for the ads phase. I'm going to do a 20-second countdown. Once again, we are holding our actions, we're holding our damage, holding our actions until ads phase. Halcyonic End, go ahead and pull the boss. This boss starts with a tank buster, so don't be in front of the boss. Next up, find your knockback immunity, arms length surecast, and press it. Press your knockback immunity. Press your knockback immunity, get close to the boss. And dodge whacks. Dodge the conals. Your priority number 1 is dodging the whacks. Don't get whacked. Range can go ahead and get out, get all the way out. Melee can join them now. Everyone get out, get all the way out. If you can attack, you are not far enough out. Get back in. And boss is going into ads phase. Hex 1, 2, 3, 4 stance on. Hex 1, 2, 3, 4 stance on. Pull your ads to the outside. Start using your burst. Pull your ads out. Use your burst. Pull your ads out. Use your burst. Get to a cardinal, stay at a cardinal. Get to a cardinal, stay at a cardinal. Get to a cardinal, stay at a cardinal. Get to a cardinal, stay at a cardinal.
Your
Tanks,
stance.
go ahead and sweep. Tank sweep, tank sweep, tank sweep.
Lose minnow.
I'll try and get it.
Words.
Words, I'm so sorry. If you re-raise, walk out of the wall. Get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch. I'm pulling the minnow away, trying at least. Kill the minnows, get out of the puddles, kill the minnows, get out of the minnow, get out of the puddles. Get out of the puddles, reflect fire. Kill the ads. That's not good. Who provoked that? Words are out there not resolving. Words are out there not resolving. Words are out there not resolving. Someone please provoke the Minotaur. Get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch. Kill the last ads. Get out of the puddles. Kill the ads, get out of the puddles. Words are resolving. Do your words, 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 do your words. Kill the last Minotaur ad, reflect fire, dispel earth, dodge the puddles. Kill the monk ad. Get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch, get into a notch. Get into a notch, kill the ad, get into a notch, kill the ad, reflect fire. Okay. Focus on a rising if you're a healer. Healers focus on a rising. Healers focus on a rising. There's a raid wide here. Next up is rapid bolts. If you have a rapid bolt, take it out, take it away, take it out, take it away. There's gonna be a puddle under you. Move out of the puddle. Next up, you're gonna get all the way away from the boss. Get all the way away, get out, get away. Get out, get away. Get out, get away. Get back in towards the boss. Next up's gonna be 2 more sets of rapid bolts. Take them out, take them away, and then get out of the puddle. Take them out and away, and get out of the puddle. 1 more set, take them out and away, and get out of the puddle. Get away from the proximity about half the room away. Get out from the proximity about half the room away. And then get in towards the monk. Dodge whacks. Don't get whacked. Don't get whacked. Don't get whacked. Next up is gonna be a tank buster in just a moment. Please stay away from our main tank. Start thinking about your gauge. Start thinking about what gauge you need for the queen.
Knockback.
Knockback, pop your knockback immune now if you have it. Dodge whacks. Melee walk through to bait them. Dodge whacks. Dodge whacks. Next up's gonna be another raid wide and then just a repeat. Raid wide followed by more rapid bolts. If you get a rapid bolt, take it out, take it away. If you get a rapid bolt, take it out, take it away. Okay. Healers focus on arising people, do not go ahead. Grab your personal spoils and do not go ahead. Okay, at this point you can go ahead and go ahead. Go ahead towards the queen. There's gonna be a cutscene that I believe is just the same as normal mode. And we're gonna do some quick organization and then get queen pull. Jump on the pad, go across. Welcome to Queen. Watch your cutscene, and then stand behind the purple line for an application of shell. Tanks start giving out shell. If you need shell, please stand behind the purple line. If you're physical DPS and you need excellent spawn of power, look for the triangle mark. Look for Kuroto Arcadia. Once you have shell, please cross the purple line so you don't get it reapplied. Makes it easier for everyone to pick out who needs it and who doesn't. Once you have shell, walk ahead of the purple line. If you need a lost re-raise, please go to the back of the bridge. Please go to the back of the bridge towards the stairs if you need a lost re-raise given to you. Once you have shell, stand on the A-way marker if you need it. Anyone who has a lost re-raise action, feel free to give them re-raisers. If anyone has a lost re-raise they want to give away, look towards the people on the A marker. Once you have it, please walk away from the marker. If there are no other re-raises to give out, then that's unfortunate. Okay, welcome to Queen. Real quick, can I get gunbreakers or paladins on the 1, 2, and 3 way markers? I need gunbreakers or paladins on the 1, 2, and 3 way markers. Gunbreakers, paladins on the 1, 2, 3 way markers. Perfect. You three are going to be our main tanks for this boss. Halcyonic is going to start with their stance on. If you're not Halcyonic, turn off your stance. Everyone stands off except Halcyonic. Halcyonic is going to inform the first tank buster, and then Stern, you're going to provoke it off of them. You're going to turn on your stance and pick up main tanking. Once that happens, you're going to main tank the boss until the next tank buster, which you're going to inform. After which, Bio Harvey is going to provoke and take the boss until the end of the fight. If at any point any of these 3 tanks are dead, please say so in yell chat so someone can pick it up, or I can pick it up. These are going to be our 3 main tanks once again. Halcyonic is taking our first buster, then Stern, and then Mbio. You're going to take the tank buster with your invuln, and then the next tank will provoke. Okay, everyone else, let me do quick Queen explanations, because ultimately Queen is mostly on me to get right. Most of Queen is just a collar check, and I'm gonna try and call it correctly for once. However, I'm gonna post a couple graphics that might help you resolve it yourself. First of all, Super Chess. Super Chess, the boss is gonna go away, you're gonna get some markers, you're gonna get some debuffs applied to you. If you want to see what those look like, refer to the image in the thread. With the debuffs, you're going to get a 2, 3, or 4, you're going to get 2 of them. For example, you might have 3 and 4. That means you have a total of 7. My directions are going to be for 5s to go to one square, 6s to go to another, and 7s to another. One example callout might be 6s to the corner, 7s to the left of them, 5s in front of the goal tile. I'm going to be calling with these markers, and I'm going to tell you first where people stand, and then I'm going to tell you which column to walk up. For example, I might say to walk up the 4 column. That means you're going to walk into the 4 column, and then up the 4 column. For example, if I said 6 to the corner, 7s to 3, 5s to A, if I was a 7, I'd start right here on 3, then I'd walk into this column, and then walk up. If you would like to see a graphic that helps you resolve it yourself, here you go. This is how I personally call it. And it gives an example of what to do, depending on what your debuff is. One very important thing is that when whenever I call to walk up the column, you're going to walk until the number dots above your head disappear. You're going to walk until your number dots disappear, and then you're going to stop moving. If you move and you see a big red spike above your head, you're going to walk back a square. The big red spike, if it's above your head, will just kill you, so please walk back a square if you notice the big red spike. Finally, real quick, I'm gonna put a circle above my head. Some of the mechanics in this fight are very hard to call with just markers because of the variety of places you can go. So, some of the calls may just be to follow the circle marker. I recommend that you go ahead and click on me, Opal Jade, and focus target me. As if you are confused by me calling markers, you can always look for the safety circle for where to go. Go ahead and focus target me now if you would like to see that safety circle, as it might be incorporated into some of the calls. If any vets would like to put a safety shape on their hat as well, feel free. If it looks like something I'm doing is wrong, look towards one of the other safety shapes for guidance, as they might be getting it right. With that said, every single raid wide needs an ether shield on it, so all tanks should slot ether shield. If you see a tank die, if you see your other tank die, please take up ether shielding in their stead. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, during Super Chest, everyone is going to have numbers. You are going to need to walk those numbers. One other important thing is at the end of Super Chest, please make sure you walk into the gold tile no matter what. There's going to be a big glowing tile, and that's going to be where you need to end. You're going to need to walk into that gold tile no matter what. Other than that, again, it's just a lot of repeat Queensguard mechanics, some of the tethers, some of the gaps, stuff like that. Once you're ready, please come jump on the circle waymark. If you have any questions, please ask them, otherwise come jump on the circle. Oh, thank you for reminding me. At this time, it's also a good idea to have light curtains on your hotbars. You should have brought 2 light curtains, put them on your hotbars, don't use them. After the first Super Chest, or if we skip it, when you see the God Save the Queen cast, that is going to introduce a new Sovereignty gauge. Once the Sovereignty gauge hits 100, you're going to want to hit your light curtain and stand under an orb. If you don't have light curtains, or you cannot press a light curtain, please make sure you are not under an orb. Only stand under an orb if you have a light curtain, otherwise stay far away from all of them. Just waiting on Kerouac, Raw, Elizabeth. Let me know when you 3 are ready, or if you have any questions. So, during Super Chest, you're going to get 2 debuffs. Each of them is either going to be a 2, 3, or a 4. You're going to need to add them together. For example, 2 plus 4 is 6. You're going to go where I tell the 6s to go. For example, I might say 6s to the corner, or 6s to 3. You're going to stand there, and then you're going to walk. After the first mechanic resolves, you're going to walk until the dots above your head disappear. If you see a red spike above your head, walk back a square. Once you've resolved those thoughts, the next mechanic is going to go off, and then you're going to need to walk into the gold tile. Walk into the gold tile no matter what, as if you're outside and you die, your re-raiser will not proc and you'll just die again. That answers your question. I will take that as a yes. Okay, we're gonna give it a 30-second countdown. Please make sure you have raid food active. Eat your baked eggplant, your caviar canapes, or your baba ganoush. Have potions ready. Most physical jobs need strength or dex, and all magical jobs need intelligence or mind. Be ready to use your lost actions. This content is balanced around them. Go ahead and pull the boss. This boss starts with a raid wide. So be ready to Ether Shield and mitigate. Ether Shield and mitigate. Ether Shield and mitigate. Next up is the first mechanic, commonly called Murder Chest. Okay, I'm gonna save some stuff, but don't mind it. One unsafe. Bit unsafe. We're hoping for west. We're gonna see where this sends us. We are heading east. Go against the wall towards 2. Go against the wall towards 2 or B. Against the wall towards 2 or B. B is not safe. Against the wall. And then stay there or get to D. Stay there or get to D. Stay there or get to D. Back wall is safe. D is safe. Back wall is safe. D is safe. Next up is our invulnerability. Our first tank is gonna pop invuln as soon as the cleansing / cast 4 comes up. Tank 1, get ready to invuln. Tank 1 invuln. Tank 2 provoke. Tank 2 provoke. Raid wide ether shield mitigate. Raid wide ether shield and mitigate. Hold your burst, the boss is about to go away. Hold your burst, the boss is about to go away. Hold your burst, boss is going away. We're gonna look for the gold tile, either north or south. Turn your camera so that that's your new north. Gold tile is south. Go towards a wall safe, wall unsafe, back safe. 5s to 1, 6 to the right of them, 7s to the right of them. 5s to 1, 6s to the right of them, 7s to the right of them. 5s to 1, 6s to the right of them, 7s to the right of them. 5s to 1, 6s to the right of them, 7s to the right of them. We are walking up the B column. Walk up the B column until your dots disappear. Walk up the B column until your dots disappear. If you have a spike, go back. Spikes, go back. Spikes, go back. That is a lot of people who just kept walking. Walk into the gold tile no matter what. Walk to that shining blue gold tile whether you were right or not. Walk to the shiny gold tile no matter what. Boss is coming back with a raid wide. Be ready to ether shield mitigate. This is the heaviest raid wide in the encounter. I'll provoke it. Burn the boss, ether shield and mitigate. Ether shield mitigate. Ether shield and mitigate. Check your light curtains. Be ready to light curtain. Be ready to light curtain. Tank 2, once you're up, please provoke it off of me. Pop your light curtains, pop light curtains, pop light curtains. If you have them, stand under an orb. Pop light curtains, stand under an orb, stay away if you don't have them. Find a bubble and dispel the boss. Find a bubble, stand under it, dispel the boss. Stand under a bubble. Get back in towards the boss. Get back in towards the boss. We're getting our first Queen's Guard mechanic. This is gonna be our first Queen's Guard mechanic. Go and check for a tether. Check and see if you have a tether. Check and see if you have a tether. Tethers are gonna go to swirly green wind. Rest are going to purple. Tethers go to swirly green wind. We are heading South. Head towards the South Sea Waymarker. South Sea Waymarker tethers the wind, rests at purple. Point your gap towards the gunner in the northwest. Gap towards the gunner in the northwest. And then to a turret you're aligned with. Get back on the bus, get ready for our first tank buster. I'm gonna need a cleanse here. Get ready to S enemy. Okay, tank 3 provoke. Tank 3 provoke. Boss is going away, hold your 2s, hold your 2s, hold your 2s. Boss is going away, hold your 2-minute cooldowns. Boss is going away, hold your 2-minute cooldowns. Get towards the middle of the arena, we're going bowling. Get towards the center of the arena, we're going bowling. We're getting knocked back towards. Get knocked back towards 1. Knock back towards 1, don't be in the way of the queen. Knock back towards 1. Next up, our safety boys are at A and B. Small triangle, diagonal of A. Small triangle, get to the circle and triangle markers. Small triangle, diagonal of A. Boss is coming back. With a raid wide. Raid wide, ether shield mitigate. Raid wide, ether shield mitigate. Followed by another super chest. Boss is going away. Burn your burst or lose it. Burn your burst or lose it. If both healers are dead, please mark them. If both healers are dead, please mark them. Gold tile is north. Turn your camera towards north. Back is unsafe. Wall is safe. 5s to 4, 6s to the right of them, 7s to C. 5s to 4, 6s to the right of them, 7s to C. 5s to 4, 6s to the right of them, 7s to C. 5s to 4, 6s to the right of them, 7s to C. We're going up the 4 column. Wait for these to lock in. Walk towards 4 and then up the column. Walk until your dots disappear and walk no further. Walk until your dots disappear and no further. After this, you're gonna walk to the gold tile no matter what. Walk to the gold tile no matter what. If both healers are dead, please mark them. If both healers are dead, please mark them to be arisen after this. As soon as the boss comes back, we're gonna LB3. Wait to do this, wait to do this. As soon as the boss comes back, healer LB3 if you have it. Healer LB3 if you have it. Check for healer LB3 and use it. Tank 3 invuln, tank 3 invuln. And I'm provoking the boss. Next up, go and stack on A, stack on A, stack up on A, stack up on A. This knight is gonna jump onto us. We're gonna get away from the knight that jumps onto us towards one side. Wait to get out until I call which side. We're getting out towards the south. Get out towards the south, get out towards the south. Get away towards the south. And then dodge bouncing bullet turrets. Normal mode bouncing bullet turrets, they bounce once, twice, or thrice. Get out of the way of the turrets. Ether shield mitigate, pop light curtains. Sorry, pop light curtains, no ether shields. Pop light curtains, stand under an orb. Pop your light curtain, stand under an orb, stand in a bubble, dispel. Next up is a raid wide. Get ready to ether shield mitigate, ether shield mitigate, ether shield mitigate. Heal LB3 if you have it still. Next up is our next to last relentless play mechanic. Or no, our last. You're gonna check for tethers, locate your knockback immunity, don't use it. Locate your knockback immunity, get ready to press it. Check for a tether, tethers to small, rest to large, tethers to small, rest to large. Knockback immunity, tethers to small, rest to large, keep moving on your bomb. Keep moving on your bomb, kill the boss, kill the boss. If you fall before your bomb, move where one just fell. If you fall before your bomb, move where one just fell. Queen is coming back, kill the boss, she's on 3%, heal LB3 if you haven't. Heal LB3 if you haven't. Very nice, congratulations on your clearance. At this point, if you are a healer, please stand on the body if you plan to arise. Please focus on arising new clears over veterans. I have 50 Save the Queen minions on a retainer. I really don't need more. Congratulations on your clears, anyone who was new. Once you leave, before you leave the instance, if you would like some screenshots, you can go to the back of this hallway. There's a special tree that people like to take screenshots in front of. If you're new, please mark yourself. If you're new on the ground, I should say, please mark yourself. As again, vets really don't need a 50th Save the Queen minion. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for showing up, bringing the damage, and good job. I'm probably gonna do another one of these on Cafe sometime, so if you want to come back, do more of this, keep a lookout. Otherwise, if you want to keep doing DRS, there are many servers that you can look at in intro and rules. There's DRS almost every day, usually multiple times a day. So if you enjoyed this content and want to do more, there is tons of it. Otherwise, claim your doggo and get out. This is not a cult. This is a trap. Stay away. Yeah, once you have your screenshots, feel free to leave. You can claim your new mount from the achievements menu. It'll be in your last 5. It'll have the Cerberus horn. Make sure you grab your personal spoils, as inside there is a full augment for one of the items, whether it be head, hands, chest, legs, or feet. Additionally, if you would like to get the DRS cleared role in this Discord, please go to role request, post an image of yourself on the dog with the achievement, and you will get your DRS cleared role.
Oh, did we actually manage to get everyone?
Yeah, I think everyone is up. So take your screenshots. Thank you all so much for coming. You are no longer required to stay here. That 6 scared me. I really thought we wouldn't have enough arises, honestly. But
Queen is always spooky.
I honestly thought we'd see Rage, at least soft and Rage.
We're about
We're
8
right
seconds
before it.
I think.
yeah, like Queen was coming back to do soft and rage, so
Hey, if we didn't cast it, you know what? It didn't happen.
that's true. I had to slot over my BR at Queen, because I slotted my Ether Shield, then remembered I had no re-raiser. So I had to slot over my BR to re-raise myself before TA.
One of these days I'll get an all purple scholar.
I was sweating the whole fucking time. It's terrifying.